Um, with the cosmos, this transition, Earth is first, and then Venus to Mars, Mercury to Jupiter, the Sun to Saturn, Neptune, Uranus, Pluto, and any other planets that are origin, that are in alignment of this solar system will go through the transition. So it'll expand from Earth inward and outward as well. I mean, I could see partial views, visions, but to an entirety, it's not to an entirety. It's more like a sum. It's like a draft vision. It's like, this is basically what's going to happen. Is if this is like 3 or 4 versions, lower in definition and vivid quality, and of course the actual, details of the process itself, that I cannot that I cannot entirely, convey. I mean, sometimes you have a draft vision. Some of the visions I've had had altered or had been enhanced because of certain occurrences that have happened. My videos is a growing. It's all based on growth. In the circumstances that I'm in, what kind of information, to what extent am I able to expound upon? I have discussions such as 5th dimension to the 15th, the 3rd eye to the 6th eye, various different types of consciousnesses. I would have liked to have built on them more, but I'm very I'm happy with everything that I have on the YouTube channel. Preservation, because it was during a time that I had just been becoming more and more aware of my origins, my information, everything I have to express and detail on, it being from my origins, another existence, which I'm very familiar with. I can remember very well and can deliver quite well in the details at times, but it's like trying to describe an experience in a dream that's seamlessly fractal. Fractals you really can't explain, you really just gotta see them. That's the best example I can give you. It's like trying to explain really the famous artwork that's got stairs within stairs, a building within a building, or something like that. There's certain things you just have to see. Hey, I saw a UFO, I'll describe it to you. No, you'd want to see that UFO and see those details this person would describe to you. But I have introductions that upon entering this existence, you'll have certain things that'll be given to you. Yes, you're going to be given a manual of like what's up, events, occurrences, and certain things. Pamphlets. I mean, you're probably going to WTF on this, but it's going to be like y'all are tourists. I mean, upon y'all entering, it's going to be kind of like y'all are tourists. We'll kind of show you around and stuff like that. By this time, but see that the difference though in that was I did not know, or was not entirely certain how the knowing process would occur. Everyone would have known by then. Everyone would know the whole story by then. Now there's still going to be there's still going to be a lot of room for surprise. So upon knowing, and that's during upon knowing, upon the realization, the story of this universe, etc. The all, you could say. Some incidentally, and a little on the misunderstanding side, the all. It's very close, but there's still that edge. Upon knowing, upon realizing, because life's going to OP us, life's going to upon. OP, you could describe it as optical ponage. You're going to see sights, you're going to see things that are far beyond the realm of color, density, and potentiality here in this universe. 80% of this universe is, cannot be seen. That was because for another time, when that time came, when X amount of things could be not in vain, meaning if what is left in vain means mourning and loss and sorrow would indeed be carried into the transition, meaning that you would have to almost recreate the unnatural circumstances to just pull that in vain factor out again. Which extraction like that, you're talking about some, that just can be more bizarre. So my documentations were based on how many things can I make not in vain. And gotta say, seeing everything is, through the years and everything, that concept, it took a long time until I came to that point, aka the movie I was making. But really became very strong when I created monolithism full italicism, because that's the story of this planet, but also showing a massive irony turn that y'all are not prepared for. Your considerations of what's good, what's dark, are not polarized. They're more just basically misunderstood. There's a usual gap in everyone's being in this universe. Nearly every single being has a specific gap. Everyone knows that they have a specific gap. And this gap is mostly because of this universe's tamperings by chaos. And the gap is also not entirely recognized or understood because of optionism. The word, such a term, allows the mind to realize, wait a minute, optionism, that means a progressive and evolutional direction. So, okay, let's look at the word good and bad. Okay, I'm just putting them aside. I'm just going to pick evolution. There you go. There's your debunk. I mean, it's that simple. Evolution, creative activities. A relationship's evolutional. There's so many things that are evolutional, but no one is identifying them as evolutional, and they don't evolve as a person and also as a persona. Everyone usually uses one persona through their whole lifetime, from when they can remember as a child to when they are old. Old. Now, logically speaking, this makes no sense. None, because one is an illogical number. One is practically a non-existent number, because eternity exists. So you're going to realize that your past lives, who you are, your past lives, how it reflects now, the ironies, etc., all these calibrations, massive amount of calibrations. You're going to have hundreds, maybe thousands of ways of thinking in real time, automatically, information uniquely yours, you knowing all its signature origins and roots, conveyed to you by your core self, but also through realization. But remember, who you are now, you're not going to be. You're not going to be who you are now, where you're going to be going. You're going to realize what's up, and the self, your origin self, you could say maybe the best out of all your lives in being in this universe, will be your primary beginning or starting point, or where you perhaps it maybe would be best for your evolution of like where you start off at your best point in your past lives, because every point after that there's a lot of unnecessary things going on, but before that point, excellent. There's so many variables. Your story is your story, your DNA just being that fact, aka database, mind expressed as well. Even the veins carrying information. There are many ways that realizations can be carried to you, and there's many ways realizations can be realized. But the ultimate process is physical, cellular to molecular, physical to metaphysical, and physical to go to metaphysical, almost direct interaction. Almost direct interaction. It's almost to say you're literally in the flow itself, which to say that would be obliterating. But that's the point. You're not being immersed in the flow itself. You can be realizing as the flow itself per se. Your own the actuality of what intensity is, the actuality of emotions, words, everything. You're going to find that there's more information to take in than more information that you already know. Most persons in this universe will realize they didn't and generally know much. They're going to know why, But from the point of realizing basically what's up, saying the all sum, it's then that the person realizes where they belong, realizing the differences between their unnecessary actions, deliberate for some to many. That's a variable, but who knows? It goes by what outweighs what. What was it? More unnecessary actions that the person interacted with, or more necessary actions? Which, if it's more necessary actions, it's going to bring better circumstances, or it's just going to help in general. Self does the self. You go where you can fit. To know your place is to know your home, to know where you belong, but also know your ironies, know your realizations, know what you were not realizing to, and this applies to, of course. There's always a bit of third-person perspective in this, because obviously, there's other persons listening, not just one. So with this realization process is going to be very deep. It's going to be, quote, scarring. As I have quoted it as the all sum, is it ends in bloodshed. The realizations are going to be ridiculous, and that's where my story comes in. My story is the human example, but also the WTF example, aka terminologies and realms that I have discovered that really is not going to be possible to convey in any possible. Words really just cannot be formulated as soon as I think of these places. These places are new. This is where the term magic comes into play. There's other terms that come into play, but it's far too much. Believe me, when you will even know the very words I would like to convey, and know the story of why it would be too much to express. But these new realms that I've discovered, the term-based magic, saying that not only was the best yet to come and was discovered, but even more. That sounds about right. The most beautiful story ever told. I not only got to where I wanted to be, but exceeded, but then even found more. Hence the ramifications, but also two new realms that are, it's OP material. I don't know how savvy you are on your on the terminologies with OP, ponage, ownage, stuff like that. Don't expect too many persons to be too familiar with that, and that's where that's where the first miscommunication is going to occur at, because it's not going to make any sense. But these are very real terms. Trill's another one. Very signature to the beings. Occasion to Shiznit, basically, which you'll find out the truth behind that one as well. Very subtle to very defined examples. Many. Could be materialistic example, could be word phrases, could be even SC the album. That could be reflecting a glint of this piece's universe, so X amount of universes back to a moment in this one. Not everything is just a perfect straight line, seamless, and not having any other correlation or alignment potentiality with anything else, including other universes and existences. That includes time also. You mention a tree, you're including, you're saying a term that is in every single universe in existence. That's just one word. Pretty much everyone's going to realize their own judgments. They're going to judge themselves. Now, we don't need anyone to judge anyone. Self-judge is self. Based upon who you were here, you're going to realize, basically, as a sum, what was more necessary, what was more unnecessary. Most are going to realize a lot of the stuff they did was unnecessary, defining them as either obscure, lame, destructive, or, yes, retarded. There's a lot of persons who really like the idea of denial. They really like